Okay. We're going to get started here. Why not? It's basically the time. Here comes. Voila. Welcome, everyone, to another amazing session. Hopefully, I won't feel too lazy. You know, my apartment management promised that they found some used parts for the AC. So it is going to be fixed today. And I'm hoping, I am praying that it'll be fixed in the middle of the session here today, because I'm already burning up. It's actually kind of cold outside, so I wear a hoodie, which is not ideal for like 80 something degree weather. But soon you'll stop hearing me complain about weathers or temperature in general. And that's for the benefit of both you and me. Whoa. Does feel like the angle feels kind of weird, huh? Like if I go here, this is me being centered to the monitor. Feels like I'm a little bit off center here. Let's see. Do I correct this? Why is it doing that? That's my question. That seems a little bit more centered. Okay. That seems more reasonable. All right. Well, let's see. Where do we leave off? One of the actions, we did shielding. We changed the line. We did dressing and undressing the suit. Repair. Oh, attack. I think attack was one of the things that we wanted to do. And we just finished drawing the sprite for missile, or missile, depending on what area and time you're from. So that's, I think, what we want to do here. And I'm going to say, for now, missile floats off. And then yeah. It should float out and wait. Have where indicates where it will go next type of thing. Okay. I think technically it is a ship piece. Combat piece is the parent. Yeah. Unless I want to make a new one. So I can say, hey, we're going to make a new piece out of the combat piece. Call this a missile piece. Now, unfortunately, there's... I mean, I guess we can make it so that there's multiple type. Hey, Kogane, welcome. Appreciate you here. We're getting it done. We're getting what we can done here. You know, part of me is like, oh, Magic Food Bar says, hey, everyone. Everyone is me, you, and Kogane currently. People are slow to join today. It's okay. You know, all the important people are here. No. Everybody is important to me. Okay, so the combat. Boom. And then I think I put it under pieces. Oh. Did I not? I guess not. It's under sprites. There it is. Very simple animation. It kind of looks weird. But we'll see how well this works. Make it autoplay, repeat, and have it play like... Doesn't feel too bad, right? I mean, from far, it kind of looks like it is missile. The tip looks kind of sus, though. Magic 4 says, yay, crayon! Exactly. It's a crayon launcher. Let's see, what else? I think we're going to do basically the same thing as the ship, where it goes float up and down slowly and gently. So we'll do that. I mean, I know for a fact that this is going to be a very, like... what's the right word for it? I wanted to say arduous, but it'll be annoying. No doubt. I need to learn to use animation tree. I don't know how to use that. I've seen a lot of people where a lot of people suggest me use the thing, but I'm like it just seems, if it's just grid management, I feel like I just want to rather do it as program. So I don't know. But with any feature in Godot, I think once I get used to it, I'm pretty sure I'll change my mind. But for now, I don't see why I would use animation tree over anything else yet. But we'll see. We'll see. So we're gonna just make the sprites positioned. Transform, I guess. Have it go up and down. And we'll make it continuous. We'll make it cubic, so it's like doing stuff. And then have it do. So that's about like 3 seconds, I think. And we'll say it starts at a position, go to some position, and that's it, honestly. Right? And then have it float up like 10 pixel. That's a lot. Maybe I do 6 pixels. Like so. Wait a minute. This looks so good, right? All right, that's the missile. And that's the piece that will be present on the board. Only thing is, I don't know which group it needs to be part of, right? I mean, it's not... Would it be neutral? Let's see. It's going to hit ships and objects. And you know what? I mean, technically, I feel like it's neutral. Like, neutral doesn't care if it's player, enemy, another unit. Like, it impacts everything. So I'll call it neutral for now. Also, I spelled neutral wrong. It says natural. Is it too late to change it? Oh, no, it's not. I do think... Oh. Wait, what? Well, I wonder if this is going to impact anything. This is going to be a problem. Whatever. From now on, net tutorial is neutral. Oh, also, I bought Steam Deck, or I bought a Steam Deck yesterday. Well, I ordered it, so it'll come probably soon, in a few days here. Because I'm like, well, now I'm seriously considering releasing a game. Demoing and playtesting is a lot easier with Steam Deck instead of hauling my big laptop everywhere to people to test. So, yeah, it's happening. For reals. Okay, let me think. So we made a piece. What we're going to do here is basically however we're spawning other things. We're going to do the same thing here. We're going to have to place the ship or the piece on the battle grid like we usually do. And battle grid has some functions. Let's see. Grid to local, get grid, is position in map, blah, blah, blah. Okay, well, nothing exciting here. I'm going to look on execute. Cool, this is on initialize. Where am I placing these pieces? Oh, combat grid handler, I'm sure. On crew selection change, battle grid. Okay. Input. On piece position changed. Things change. We're moving the piece. Okay. Ooh, that's right. There's battle map. So I need to update the combat map, and I need to omit a bunch of stuff. I remember now. It's a little complicated. Hindsight is a bad design because I can't remember it off top of my dome, right? But it's okay, I think. We can deal with it. Probably same thing we do with move. So what do we do here? When we move, we do the thing, and then when grid gets selected, we just simply say, hey, we received the grid selection, and we don't want to select anything anymore. We get the player piece. How do we do that? So we update the grid position of the player where it should be. And then we say, hey, piece position has changed for this guy, which will trigger the movement of that piece. Okay, I think that's it. So what I'm going to do here for the attack action, who will be responsible for spawning a missile, right? So we have a missile, so we're going to first spawn this. Our missile piece as combat piece. And then we got to spawn this in, which would be great if there's a function for it, but I don't think there is. So let me just, the way I recall how I do things is always revisiting my code, I think. Which is more than ideal, I'm guessing. Oh, hold on. Let me check something real quick here. Interesting. Okay. Player info, we get the ship information, that's fine. I'm just trying to remember how I placed the ship in the first place. Combat grid handler, we're initializing pieces. We get the combat map. Yep, from the state. Oh yeah, combat map will already have the piece information. Okay, so I need to put this piece. Its grid position should definitely be the position of the ship to start with. Player ship specifically. So we'll say get player piece like this. Okay, so we have a player piece. Its grid position will be equal to grid position of the player. And then we're going to say from the combat state, we'll get the combat map info. And we're going to add a piece, which is a missile piece, which just adds it to the data. How do we update? Does the update happen automatically? Place piece on grid. Oh, we got to do that too. So that is from grid handler. Yeah, let's do that. So on attack action, we're going to say, hey, combat state, or not combat state. Is grid handler part of it too? Let me see. I don't think this has any dependency. I don't think grid handler is part of the combat state. Is it? Map info. Yeah. You have the grid and combat UI, but not specifically. Place overlay. I do feel like when the piece gets added over here on the state, by calling the combat map info, I should probably signal out saying, we got to update the battle grid or something like that for the pieces, right? Battle grid UI signal. Yeah, piece position change. I think I need to do this. Let me see. Let's see how we're handling this. We call the battle grid, and then we're moving the piece. When we're moving the piece, if it doesn't have parent, we just set the position to the new position. Okay. Think that might work. I'm just gonna make sure I do this properly. It's gonna be a thinker. Magic Force says, I didn't see all the Steam's videos about this game, so I can't really follow the whole thing. It's okay. Well, you'll see it eventually. Stream, you mean? We're doing basically kind of like an isometric tactics situation, so I'm just trying to figure things out here. Don't worry, there's not much to follow. It's just me thinking out loud at this point. Hey, Tony. Tony's got the first. Nice. Welcome, Tony. I'm still over here checking my email, hoping that my AC will be fixed anytime now. I can feel the just kind of like the dewdrops of sweat forming above my lips, which is like not pleasant unless you're doing it on purpose, like sauna. But yeah. Magic Fubar says, well, I see all the different scripts, nodes, and namings, and I don't understand anything. Yeah. Essentially, I mean, we have a few moving pieces, right? I had a battle info where data only. It holds all the information about where the pieces are, what they're supposed to be, and stuff like that. And then I have the actual battle grid, which is separate, and that's like the visual component of the combat. And so we need to sync between the data and then the grid. And it doesn't happen automatically because I just didn't like wire them in that way. So I'm just making sure what I'm updating. I'm reminding myself how I'm supposed to add these, like in what order and how I'm supposed to add new pieces in order to make it work properly. I do think it might be helpful if we have a just global signal that says add piece, right? Or yeah. I mean, this is kind of funny because signal is like more like events. So you would see something like piece added as opposed to add piece. Like add piece is like a command or function. So I think this is probably better. Like piece has been added to the map info. So maybe I could do that like that. Very specific. And we can emit that and give the missile piece. Magic Force says, yeah, with the naming convention, sometimes it feels like you shouldn't use signal because it's about to happen. Yeah, exactly. And it needs to be, I feel like it needs to be past tense. Tony says, do you play Roblox, by the way? I never played Roblox in my life. Should I try it out at least? I don't know. Like, the way the game looked when I first saw it, I just was like, oh, I don't really see the appeal to it, but I know it's really popular. Why? What's up? Do you play Roblox? Is it fun? Should I play Roblox right now? I do want to play some games after I'm done with some good amount of work today because, of course, I need to still finish Act 3 of Silksong, but I also bought Hades 2 last night, or yesterday, and I've been playing quite a bit. It's really fun. So there are several things I need to be playing right now. Now, how do I get started? Give me a rundown on how I get started on Roblox. Okay, the music is a little bit too lyrical. Oh man, a little sniffly. I don't know why I'm so sniffly when it's so hot. Okay, so when I do that, what I want to do, I think, is grid handler should probably listen to the bus, which I think is already available. We're going to say, hey, when the bus says the piece is added, piece added combat map to combat map. When that happens, grid handler will connect that to on piece added to map info, and then we'll put that down here with all the other ons. It's kind of funny. The on functions right here, and it'll kind of unify where all the data to graphic update happens, which is this grid handler. Tony says you just play games you like. Oh, I see. But what's popular? Like, I wouldn't know what to play if I go in blind, right? I mean, I guess if it's my own time, I could just pick and choose and figure it out, but you know. Hold on. Where is it? There it is. This is what we want to do. Like so. So this will put the missile on the map, first of all. And then I think once this is done, attack action, we can do the whole moving thing. Let's see. This is what we did with that. I don't know if this will work or not. Like the order of execution could really mess this up. Isha Boy says opinions on Love Engine and Lua in general. I don't have a personal opinion because I never used it. But it seems like, given that a lot of people are still using it to make good games, it seems like it's doable. I do think that you do have to make things manually a lot, but at the same time, that's also an experience when you're doing Game Engine 2, when you're making unique or specific features. Yeah, Blatchor was made with love. Made with love. Yeah. So I don't know. At least you can use that as a case study, being like, well, it's good enough for selling millions of copies if you make a good game. Honestly, I keep saying this to people whenever people ask about engine situation. Yes, it's true some engines are fit better for certain type of game. Like it does a lot of the hand holding for certain things. But once you get to the nitty gritty of it, all engines are just as ill-fitted for your specific case for the most part. So I would say whatever you like first and just pick and go. And then once you do that, you might actually start getting some information on a context on if you regret your decision or not, you know? But I know some people do have like a huge like regrets of like, oh man, I should have gone for this other thing. But then like you couldn't have known that. That like you shouldn't regret it. You should just be glad that you're learning that lesson. And you can always learn to switch over or, you know, keep going, you know, because it's not hard to program a game. I think if you program your game, if you make your game with an engine once, transferring that over and redoing them in another engine is tedious, but not that difficult. Like, for example, what I'm doing right now, it's a lot of code, but a lot of the delay is in me thinking about it, like how I'm going to do it, designing it, and how I want to organize the data based on what is required for the game. But once that's figured out, it's just manual, like mechanical Turk work. Because coding is not the hard part. Coding, like if you say, I want the code to do this, and then you make it do it, that's not hard. Hard part is making it organized in ways where you can easily expand on it. And that, you just need to do it one or twice. Subupok, I don't know how to say it. Subopok, maybe. Is it better to watch your stream on Twitch or YouTube? It doesn't really matter, whatever you prefer. The one benefit of watching me on Twitch is that you do get these like stream redemption. So you get a little berry folk. This thing, you can redeem plant berry folk and, you know, water them. You get to have a little bit of interactions here and there. But, you know, ultimately, both are as beneficial for me. I do prefer sometimes people doing Twitch just because most people have Amazon Prime and then they have unused Prime sub. And then they tend to use that for me, which is nice. But yeah. Anyways, let's see. Whatever platform gives you a best viewing experience. At this point, you know, neither of them pays me more over the other. Okay. So I think it places the missile correctly. But now I want to move the missile forward. I want to make it so that the missiles can't be shot in different direction. Like when you attack, it just attacks. It's like it just launches in a path. That could make it so that the movement and position of the pieces can be really interesting. So this is where the things get placed. I need somehow ways to wait on pieces being properly located. But either way, the selected position, I think, instead of doing this right now here, yeah, you know what? I'm going to do this. Missile gets placed. I think missile moving forward is missile's job. So missile's going to decide, or missile is going to decide that it's going to move forward when it gets added to the battle grid. And then, or maybe that's the battle grid handler's job. And then, well, it should be a missile's job because missile needs to decide what it needs to do. Yeah. And then every turn, missile is also going to decide where it goes. You know what? That's what I'm going to do here. So over here, on the combat piece, we can make a overrideable function that's like on spawn behavior, right? Or just say on spawn. I don't know what parameters we're going to need. And then we can have on turn start. This way, we could also add this to like, I don't know, like AI or different type of weapons and stuff like that. So easy part here is, you know, we did this grid handler where we're placing piece on grid, right? And it gets placed here. And once this is done, we can say, hey, you know what? Piece, you just got added. So we're going to say on spawn. And it does some stuff here. And if it doesn't have any overwritten behavior, it doesn't do anything. But if it does, now obviously that's easy. So we'll say on the pieces, we're going to have a missile piece that overrides combat or extends combat piece. And we're going to make an overridden function called on spawn because I wanted to move forward once. So orientation kind of matters. We're going to say this missile in particular, which is a normal missile. We're going to say, let's say this will be a class name missile piece, right? And I think I want to be able to decide what direction it can go to. So we'll save export var launch direction, which will be just vector 2i. And by default, we're going to say it's facing down. So it'll be positive x. And we're going to make it move that way. Spoopok says, what game are you currently working on? I am working on this. Okay, well, so I have a pitch and everything. This is kind of what it looks like on screen cap. We're working on the combat part of the game. Just quick keywords is it's a fusion between FTL and Darkest Dungeon with environmental puzzle and narrative of like Outer Wilds. The summary pitch that we have written so far is explore the unknown space. Explore the unknown space with a uniquely hand-built ship and crew in this retrofuturistic game. Navigate through hazards and events while managing the sanity of your crew. Are we truly alone here? That's the pitch. It is a crew management game where you're managing the spaceship and the stress of the people. I want there to be like psychosis and all that. So we have some game design set up here. I'm trying to get... So right now I'm adding little actions one by one for the combat. So I don't know if I can show it to you right now. So Magic Foobar says, where can I add ideas for the game? You mean ideas for my game? I guess I gotta make a section for it. I mean, I would think that some channel in Discord. I haven't really... I suppose... Well, we do have Dread on Arrival section, huh? How about we do... Forum? Ideas or suggestions. And then we'll make this... How about we add a role? We'll say... For what content do you want to be notified? We'll add... Let's see. I feel like we should add something here. You know what? I'm going to make this, for now, publicly available. Permission. Everyone. How do I do this? Boom. Am I going to regret this? Tell me you can see this. Go check out Discord and see if you can see this, but not this. I think that's true. Yeah, I think everybody should be able to see this one at least. Here you go. There, you can add your ideas there. Anytime that I see email notification, I'm like, oh my gosh, just find it fixed. Nope. Just me burning up here alone. Okay, so what we have here so far, we have the game started. Right now, basically, I guess this is for the Sibupok. You need to really tell me how to say your name. But basically, you choose your crew. Each crew is an action. You can decide which station they're at. You manage your power. Right now, I don't have a turn yet because I'm trying to figure out what the action will be. But basically, you can like move the ship like this. Or you can, let's say, turn on shield, then you can shield one of the stations, as you can see, like that. Right now, and then you can put suits on to the crew for dealing with dangerous situation. That's going to be an action. Right now, we're doing the attack part, which is where we're launching the missile. We have some roadmap. We're getting through it. Okay. So let's see. On spawn, we're going to say this missile moves towards the next grid. It sucks that it's not globally available. Should it receive... I think it should probably get game state and the signal bus. Let's do that. Game's combat state and then the combat signal bus. Because I don't want to open this up globally right now. It's going to yell at me because it's like, oh, hey, you're not using it. Why is it here? Well, I'll use it eventually. We'll do underscore there. Solid piece on spawn. What we're going to do is we have to update grid position. Combat state. Combat map info. We don't have move here, does it? Add piece is fine. Update grid position of the piece into the new position, which will be, I guess, a few things here. So we're gonna have our combat state. Map size, which will be vector 2i, will be combat state, combat map info, map size, and our target position. Oh my goodness. Cheap viewers. Gasp. Can you imagine? No, thank you. So target position will basically be the current grid position plus the launch direction. Right, it's just adding it. But basically, if... No, we're not going to worry about this just yet. Like, the piece going out of bound, we're not going to worry about this just yet. Yeah. Don't worry about it. Well, I'm going to keep it, but I'm not going to worry about it just yet. Okay, so we're going to update it to this. Right? It updates the grid position of the piece. And then... yeah. Map info. What does this do? Why is it doing that? We're adding the piece. Yeah. Okay, new position here. And then we're going to say, hey, combat signal bus changed. Something about piece. Yes. Piece position changed. And this one requires the piece. So it'll be the self. Like so. Yep. And so it's going to move. Hopefully. On spawn. Why is this warning though? Oh. Target position is an already existing variable. That's why it's like, oh, I don't like that. Okay. Hopefully that just works. Magic Four says, did I post it in the correct? Maybe. Let's check. Discord. Nope. Doesn't seem like it. This one, the Dread on Arrival one. This is a suggestion for channel, I think. Where's general? Wait, oh yeah, chat. Here it is. Right here, Dread on Arrival specific thing. Suggestions right here. It's okay, it's okay. We're just figuring this out. You can't see it? I mean, that's what I was saying. It might be the permission things. Let me see. Because this one, I'm making it so that it's not private. Right. This one is for the... Okay, so I think what I'm going to do here, we'll update this. Can I... Hold on. Edit category. We're going to make this be a not private. But this one is going to be private. Like so. So this one shouldn't be available, but this one should be, I think. Magic Forest says, if you don't mind it being in the wrong suggestions, you don't need to change your Discord rooms. No, it's okay. I don't mind it being in the wrong section for now. It's just harder to keep track because there are a lot of suggestions here, and then sometimes I don't know when to go back here. But it is what it is. All I want to confirm from you, Magic Fubar, is that I need you to help me figure out that you can see this, but you can't see this. That's all. That's all we need at this point. Let's see. You can't see either of them? Weird. Have you? Okay. I bet this is it. Have you went to the rules on landing page and checked this already? Because this one also limits your access to a bunch of channels. That might be it. That's how it is sometimes. Yep. I bet that's it. No? Dang. Well, whatever. It's okay. Well, seems like you just don't have access to it. View channel. I mean, it's... I feel like you should be able to see it. So hard. It's okay. We'll figure it out later. Either way, I think this should work. Let's test it out. So we're gonna go here. Ooh, it didn't like that. Oh, right, because I gotta pass this in. So we'll say combat state, And signal bus. Combat signal. Oops. Combat signal bus. Tony says, did you know that you can't see the suggestions channel by default? User has to add it somewhere. I don't remember where. Oh, really? I don't know, man. Discord is sometimes really confusing. Also, they did this like weird organization like correction thing. So Tony says, hi, I'm Stefan. Wait, you're not Tony? Welcome, Tony. We're going to say hi here. High five. Brandon says, Bora here. Hey, we haven't seen this one either. Whoops. Hello and welcome. I gotta greet everyone. Forgot. Okay, good enough. In Browse Channels tab, I think. Oh, I see. Interesting. Anyways, let's test it out. I want to see the missile spawn in. Go to the missile. I mean, that's basically working. Wow! The angle is a little goofy, but as far as I'm concerned, it's doing its job. Maybe attack is not the right word for it, though. What should we call this? Fire? It almost sounds like launch missile. I mean, this is going to be too many words. I'm pretty sure it's going to leak out of the button. Magic says, yeah, later is fine. Yeah, look, launch missile. I mean, it's kind of cool. I wouldn't mind that, but what's a one-word description of this action? Magic Fuvar says, Tony, thank you. It worked that way. Nice. Okay. Attack? No, I gotta say... You know what? How about I just go missile? I mean, that's like, oh, you're doing something with the missile. That's fine, right? I go boop. Oh, boop. Missile. Right? I launched. Look at that. So many. So many. I guess we should make it so that if the missile runs into another missile, it should blow up, right? Is that true? Do you think if the missiles occupy the same space, they should blow up? Probably. That's interesting. That's interesting. I mean, I'm getting a lot of accidental features, I think, which is kind of interesting. Must be my favorite word. Interesting. I keep saying that. Interesting. Interesting. What is that interesting? Okay, so at least launching the missile works. And of course, progressing it one step at a time, that I will handle later. I'll handle that later. So something that I wanted to do, like Into the Breach. I'm not sure if you guys are familiar. But for Into the Breach, there's a step in the game where the AI or the next turn's action is foretold, right? Like, so you see what's going to happen and you respond in return. Which means each piece will have some sort of logic to calculate where it's going to go next. Now, is that something that each piece can do by themselves? Or should there be the AI controller that controls all this? Potentially both. We'll have to see. Because temptation is that I want to have a function that says on plan, for example, like it does a bunch of things. But if we want some relational behavior, you know what? I'm going to do it that way. And hopefully this doesn't come back to bite me on the butt. But no promises. We'll figure it out. All right. Of course, now we want to make it so that if the missile runs into a ship, be it my own or the enemy ship, when they occupy the same space, they should explode and inflict damage on the ship, right? Okay. So missile has additional impact probably on impact, and it's going to take a piece as target. So this will be the target piece. And I suppose, I don't know if the piece should contain its own like health data or not. Magic Foobar says big butta bum. Big butta bum? What? Yeah, I'm not sure. Let's figure this out. Confusing. Should I do it on impact? That means some sort of health information will be a piecewise data. Yeah. As long as it's not player piece. I think if it's player piece, then I think random damage gets inflicted on player piece. So what I'm going to do here, if target is in group player, then we don't do anything. Otherwise, we're going to say all pieces probably have health information. So we probably want to have some sort of like explosion animation, right? And we've made that before. So I don't want to remake it. Should I remake it? No, I'm just going to use the same thing I used for the other game that we made. The magic game, because we did a bunch of explosion thing. And we can replace it later. It's under not OneDrive. I think it's under Godot projects. It was something magic. I don't remember where it was. Maybe it was on desktop. It's so hard to find where all my projects are hiding. You know what? I might have to do this. Magic Foobar says Fifth Element might be a translation issue. What? Fifth Element, the movie? Okay. So we had the GMTK Gem 2025. It's under Godot Project GMTK Gem 2025. Okay, there it is. So under Godot Project 2025. All right, here we are. We're just going to simply take the spell effect, and we have this explosion one, which we made. This one. I think it's perfect. We're going to use this as our explosion. So we'll export it as sprite sheet and move it over to OneDrive document. And then combat sprites, I guess. Explosion sprite sheet. Let's do that. right there. Hopefully the size works, but we'll see. Magic Foodbar says, you said something about explosions, and I wanted to add the big bada boom quote from the movie The Fifth Element. It's something that Americans say, big bada boom or bada boom, bada bing type of situation. So I didn't associate it to the movie's quote. Like, it didn't stand out to me as the movie's quote. Sorry. Very cool, very cool. It's okay. Hey, thanks for the sub. Tier 1 sub. Wow, Apollo. Welcome. Appreciate it. Look at us go. I should honestly have like some sort of sub goal to celebrate. You know what's funny about this though? Like, I don't know how to celebrate it. Like, what can I do for the viewers that would feel celebratory, you know? That's something that I struggle with. I could be like, if I have a game, I could be like game key giveaway. But you know, what can I say? Or is it just like for the sake of reaching the goal and we go, yay, we did it. Maybe that's sufficient. I don't know. I don't know how the stream economy works. But yeah, either way, Apollo, thanks for the sub. Appreciate it. It's very helpful. You're letting me stream for one more day than I would have. You're helping me extend my give up timeline by one day. maybe 1 month. Let's see. Okay. Missile. We're cool here. What I'm going to do here, and probably will have... I don't know if the explosion should be a separate... Okay. Here's a question. Is the explosion animation a missile animation? Or a ship? No, it is a missile animation. Explosion. And we'll call that right here. Only thing is that it's fairly small comparably. So I don't know if it's gonna work okay. Let's make it 11. There you go. Fly, explode. Explode. Okay. Hold on, just give me a second. I have to go check on my door. Okay. Apollo says, no problem. I need to have something in the background during infrastructure meeting. Fair. And I will be your background. Gladly. You have to have it. It would be funny if you're presenting during the infrastructure meeting and then you have to have me on the background. Abhishek says, hey, sir. Hey, Abhishek. Welcome, welcome. Hello again. Well, I keep saying hello again, but I don't know if you've been here. Ah, man, I should have pretended that I knew you. I was like, oh, maybe I confused you with someone else. That's probably a better approach than, I don't know if you've been here, and then they've been here before. I mean, the name is definitely familiar, but then again, I also know people named Abhishek in person. So... alas. Okay, so we're gonna, on impact, obviously we're gonna play the animation sprites explosion. Sick. Abhishek says, sir, I wanted to develop an app or game, but how to start? Can you give us tips? That is the question, isn't it? Well, first of all, do you know how to program? So that would be a great starting point to learn how to do that. Second is, there are a lot of resources that talks about like tutorials on how to start an app. If you want to make a game, the place to start is by choosing a game engine and following a game engine tutorial. If you want to just make a generic app, You start by going to the app that you want to make. So, for example, platform like Apple or Android or Windows. You got to choose one. You can't just be like, I'm going to make an app for everything. You choose one first because it's a different headache if you want to make a cross-platform app. Choose a platform and then look for tutorials slash like guide on how to make an app in that platform. And guess what? Those platforms like Apple, Android, Windows, whatever. Well, barring from Linux. They have guide on how to do it. Abhishek says, I created a game simple puzzle game by AI, but failed to publish on Play Store. Yeah. If you just use AI, it's going to be missing a lot of pieces that will help you actually get to the finished product. It's a good starting point to have like the demo that you can share with people. But if you want to actually release it, like publish it, there are a few things that you need to make sure that happens. For example, does it build in different platforms? So you got to test it on all those things. That can't be done besides manually. I mean, that's essentially like the main thing. Also, when you fail, quote unquote fail, when you try to submit the application to Play Store or whatever, when they go over it to either approve or fail it, they tell you what's not working, unless it's just not launching in general. So you need to learn how to debug that, I think. Otherwise, if you're insistent on using AI to help you, you need to use it more like a teacher. Like ask them specific questions. And then when they answer you, go look for those answers. Like take those answers and search it on non-AI places to double check that that's what it is. Or to read more. Consider AI and Gen AI help as more like index on a book. And then go look into the book, which is a real thing. Tony says, choose wisely. Choose C++ and Linux and make games on your own fork of Godot. You could do that, but it seems a little bit advanced for Abhishek here, potentially, from what they're talking about. But yeah, no, it's. I wish I could say learning is avoidable, but it really isn't. Abhishek says, sir, I am India, and there is a huge storage or shortage of resources and skills have no value. So how to create game on low resource? Low resource is a pretty heavy burden. But I would say that's more of the reason why you want to use game engine. Like Godot. Godot is pretty lightweight to a point where it runs on phone. But it's kind of difficult. But also... No, it's okay. I understand. But that's why you gotta use game engine like Godot and follow along because it's a good, like, easy entry point. Like, a lot of the things you need to learn in programming, it does get complicated. If you want barrier of entry being reduced, you just, and especially if you're 15, you have so much potential. Start learning now. Go learn, be curious. Don't rush. Don't try to like do this within a year or two. You know? So that's where we're at, I think. That's my suggestion at the moment, especially at 15. I know you want to be fast, but if you're fast, you're relying on luck a lot of times. Step at a time. Do I use Insta like Instagram? Not really. Okay, missile explosion. So on impact, we're going to explode here. Now, how do we describe on impact is? Like, what is an impact? And I think that's going to be maybe the grid handler's job, right? So on, I think on move, since all the moves are happening either by placing or moving, right? Let me see. Move piece. Interesting. Okay. On piece position changed. So this is where the data is being realized in terms of position changed. I guess this is where we need to do impact detection. Action. After moving. Right? Because moving happens like this. And it tweens like this. And tween is on the combat. So we can say... Should we await on this? Potentially there could be an issue with this. Piece, movement tween, finished. Because if the movement doesn't require tweening, then this will never trigger. So I don't... But then it's at the root it's doing that. So I guess I can do that. So I'll do that. Piece. So we'll await on pieces movement tween. And once the movement is done, we're going to do some impact detection here. Tony says, oh, you turned up the size of the berry changer. But no, that's not it. The berry, so I don't know if you remember, but first, when we first implemented it, the berry changes, a berry size depends on the number of berries plus how many berries are on the screen. So there's a limit to how big you can be, and that depends on how many people are on the field right now. And today we are having pretty low count comparably for whatever reason. I guess Wednesday is just busy day for a lot of people, but it's okay. So I have that limit. Maybe I should get rid of the limit, but that 25 is up pretty big. I don't use Insta, Abhishek. I mean, I use Blue Sky. Okay. So we're going to do some impact detection here. I think impact right here. How do we detect if the piece is impacting or not? Luckily, this information is available on the battle grid or combat info. Because we can say pieces, which is I guess I should probably do a function instead of doing it this way. So we can say func get pieces on grid, I guess. Get pieces position vector to I. And that's just simply getting the pieces like this. Position, I guess we should call it grid pause. And then like that, which will return array. I mean, I can't type it because it's going to yell at me, but it's basically array of pieces. So we're going to do that on grid handler. So we can say, hey, get pieces on grid position, which is the new position here. And for element in this of our combat piece, which will be our combat piece. I'm retyping it. If combat piece is itself, because we just moved it, then we're not going to do anything. But otherwise, impact detected right here. Go. Boom. Okay. right, let's see if boom gets detected here. Is that Doctor or Dreyfus? Oh, I think it's Dreyfus. Dreyfus says, howdy, friend. So I see that I'm a tiny berry now. What have I missed that you edit? Haha. Wow, has it been that long? So we rebased the berry size. So to be small, because we added a new feature where if you have multiple copies of the berry, then you become bigger. You become bigger. You grow in size the more you have. So you can see Apollo has 3 wise berries, so he's kind of like medium here. You and I have only one of... You have one normal berry, I have 1 berry Allen, so I'm tiny. Tony has 25, so he's huge. And the maximum size of how big the berries can get, it depends on how many people are on the stream. Yeah. Tony says, and me, medium rare. Exactly. Is well done. All right. Combat over here. Let's see if the impact gets blown up. So, you know what? This should count as boom, right? So we're going to go to the weapon, launch missile. Do we get a boom? We didn't get a boom. I feel like we should get a boom. Weird. Let me move the ship to see if this would... We did get a boom here. Why is the... Does the asteroid not count? Oh, no. I got a boom because I went through. Where I went. If I go in here, you get a boom. Right, because I just moved there. It seems like the missile is not being changed. Piece position changed, yes. And when that happens, we connect that to here. And on piece position changed, is going to grab all the pieces. Weird. Let me try that again. Yeah, the throw doesn't do anything yet. The effect doesn't do anything yet. All right. Okay, we trigger that. That's good. And then we trigger that. What if I go weapon, missile? It did trigger it. The piece is over here. Its grid position is 1, 2. I don't know if that means anything. And the element... It is 1. Oh, return instead of pass. That's why. Silly me. That's my fault. What a simple... It should have been pass or continue. Continue. There you go. Continue to loop. All right, now we're going to have a proper boom detection. It's kind of funny to say, boom detection. All right, we're coming over here. Boom. We're going to move here and say nothing's going on here. Hopefully no actual error. Oh, there is an error. We're going to have to fix that eventually. Missile. Oh, no boom. Hello? Okay, let's see. Come over here. Let's see if we can get through. Missile. Come through. Continue. Wait, why does continue immediately break? Oh, because there's only one element. We're moving the piece to the new grid position. There should be more than one there. Weird. I'm going to do this instead. Clearly, it's not detecting the pieces correctly. So we're going to have to do this. We're going to move it to the right position first. And then over here, missile. Okay. So grid position here is 3, 0. And if we look at the pieces, at 3, 0, there's only one element, which is not correct. This one should exist somewhere. This neutral rock puzzle there. Unless that's not 3, 0. Weird. Let me see. Remove piece is something, add piece, yep. We're adding piece to the grid position. Dreyfus says, lol, the troubleshooting. What did I forget? And why isn't it working? Yeah. I mean, that's just kind of normal life here when you're programming. I mean, the real question here is that it's like, you know what? I feel like it was working for the ship, but it wasn't working for the missile. So the way I'm drawing the missile is the issue here, I think. Like the missile's positioning is wrong somehow. Off by 1, maybe? Let's see. Oh, well, I mean, why would it move there if it wasn't the case? Okay, let me take a look. So we have the battle grid, and we're going to move the piece. And we're moving the piece to this position. Yep. And this is a manual thing. It doesn't update the... But we're getting that grid location based on the piece's grid position. So that, like, we're just updating it, right? Ah. What? Hold on. Let me do a debugging here real quick. On the initialize, I think. Here, we're gonna put this out real quick. Dreyfus says, is this going to be another Twitch app, web app? I like to release it as that just because. But the release plan for this one is going to be Steam. This game is going to be official release. But maybe for the testable version, like the initial tests. But I do have to say that I want to kind of stick to the Steam infrastructure because I said this in the beginning of the stream, but I just purchased Steam Deck yesterday. It's coming soon because I wanted to be able to, as we're planning on real launch of the game, by the way, we did a roadmap here. So we have a plan for this Next Fest launch next year ready after this 4 cycles. And that's the goal. So we want to kind of stick around there. So we'll see. Okay. We're going to move this guy here. Got 3-1. So I want to see if the missile actually gets to 3-1 here. Place piece on grid. That's fine. On piece position changed. Let's do that one. We're going to launch the piece, which is missile. Its grid position is 3-1. That's the goal. Correct. And then over here when I'm getting the pieces, that's where I want to be. If I look at grid position 3-1, which is a correct location, I come over here and there's only one object there. And this one is just a missile. Why not the rocks, right? I want to know where it thinks the asteroid is. 303241 and 21. Let me see. 42? What's that 42? 42 is there. 21. 12. What's that 12? Ship used to be there. Is it still there? No, that's a cursor. Two, one. There's two objects there. Seems like the overlay... Seems like the overlay doesn't... Maybe the overlay is not being removed. Dreyfus says, Next Fest in October? I'm actually trying to pull something out of my butt for Next Fest February. Ooh, that's quick. I heard you only get one Next Fest submission per project, per game. So I'm trying to make it, like, pretty good before I do that. Initially, I was like, oh, I'm going to do it for this upcoming Next Fest, and I'm going to go for it. But I was like, probably not. So I don't know what the Next Fest timing will be for October next year, but I figured it will be similar timing. So what I'm trying to do is use that as a goal and then did some sort of like rough road mapping. Yeah, Trifas is this, right. Make it good. Yeah, exactly. Dreyfus says, I got my Steam Deck too, and I'm also going to work on deving with it. Yeah, it's a great testing tool, for sure. It's a lot easier to bring it around for people to test and stuff like that. And also, I bet you got it also because yesterday I looked at it, it was like 20% off, but it didn't matter. It's only the LCD version was 20% off. I got the middle one, the OLED version with 512 gigabyte. Dreyfus says, I have a 100% plan to release. This would be my first actual game release outside of the Flash style games on Newground and Itch. Oh, congrats. That's a big commitment. I mean, this will be my first release too. Do a roadmap. This is helpful. So basically, I mean, I had this game for like about a year now. And then I was locking things down because I was writing the design doc for my other teammates who we're working with so that we can actually lock things down without being confused, because we have so many ideas and we couldn't just do all of them. Or if we did, we need to figure out what is important. So we did that. And part of that, I wanted to redo the event. I wanted the events and combat to be the main game cycle, main fun. So we're implementing it, and the gameplay itself is good enough where I feel like between this and this procedurally generated mapping thing, just having these two is basically a roguelike game without the narrative component. So I wanted to get that narrative component, without the game without the narrative component, which I'm calling a roguelike version of the game. I want to do 2 iteration of that first. So that's my goal right now in the beginning of the year. And worst case scenario, next year comes through, we have a really good roguelike version of the game without the narrative. And we still are able to test the quote unquote fun of the game. And anything we add to it is a plus. Okay. Little annoying. So I'm going to do this again. Oops. I'm going to see when I'm going to try and check how the asteroid is getting at it. So we have piece coming through, which is, I guess it should name itself. Oh, you know what? Is it going to show the group? It might show the grouping. That might help. Dreyfus says I should really make a roadmap. It does help. It gives a more like clear, reachable goal as opposed to being like, I'll do what I can as fast as I can, which works if it's small project. Also says I often find myself just building out a tutorial and being like, oh yeah, I gotta add that. Yeah. Tony says, wait, no, I thought I will add link to the image or something. Huh? Oh, whoops. Sorry. The pixel art to the frame thing is right now the way we handle it is you share the image on our Discord channel. And then I got to manually do it. I got to add it to the thing manually. That pixel art frame is technically 64 by 64. So anything bigger than that will get compressed. But just be mindful. But yeah. I can always refund it if you don't want to do it anymore. But you can share it on Discord and I'll eventually get around to it. Hi, Celine. Welcome. Welcome, everyone. Welcome, everyone. I'm just checking my email again. Gosh, why is this repair taking forever? I hope it works. They're like, oh yeah, the part for the AC is not going to come until November. And they're like, everybody was like up in arms on this floor because the entire floor is out. And then basically they were like, oh, we were able to find some used parts. We're going to attempt repair today and we'll let you know how it goes. I've been seeing when I was getting my morning coffee this morning, I saw the people. So they're working on it, but they're working on it for a while, which I feel like is a bad news, right? If you're working on it that long without any news, it's kind of scary. Anyways, okay. Let's see. I don't know if anything gets removed here. Nothing gets removed. Okay. 4-0 should have asteroid. 4-3 should have asteroid. Okay. Let's see. We're going to do update grid position real quick. Come over here. Move the guy. Right. Nice. We added 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces. I want to see if asteroid exists on 0-0 position right now. We're going to go through the pieces here. 0-0 has an asteroid. Okay, cool. Let's see. Dreyfus says, lol, mine is a cozy RPG, so I'm already realizing because of the RPG side of it, narrative and crafting and etc. It's a lot to remember what was done and what needs. Oh, the narrative control of RPG is very difficult to manage by yourself in your brain. So you really want to, I don't know, you got to come up with some planning, I think. Celine says, I've been in a Dune LARP. It's really fun. Session 0 today. Wow, it sounds fun. Is it with a big group or with friends? Celine says, every player gets to be the head of a great house or advisor for a house. Wow. Wait, how do you manage like the army in that LARP? Does everybody, like, is actually every member of the LARP is accounted for within the LARP session? I've never done a LARP session, by the way. I mean, I'm an avid tabletop RPG player. I haven't made that cross into the LARP world just yet. I don't know. It does feel like a pretty big commitment to like actually locate your body somewhere. Celine says, I'm the head of the house that's focused entirely on terraforming and working for a greater good. Oh, you got the quote unquote good people. And I have a plan to overthrow the emperor. Good people in the perspective of your people, I guess. Dreyfus says, I was taking advantage of the translation system to use keys or everything in a CSV file. It helps even if you are only doing one language. Okay, that's pretty cool. Hey, if you figure something out, and it works. It works. All right, next position. Let's see. 2-1. Let's see if 2-1 exists here. X equals 2. X equals 2. 0. 2-1. I don't see a 2-1. A little concerning. Also, why is it flipped? 2-0 has 2. Why? 2-0's got nothing. Oh, this is suspicious. No. Okay, never mind. This is 2-1. It's not 2-0. 2-1 has 2. 1 is overlay, and 1 is the asteroid. Okay. So I'm going to resume and cancel this. Wait. Yeah. Oh, clicking other stations should also cancel that. Note to self to do. So I come over here. I'm about to launch a missile. Before that, I want to check every step here. Missile gets spawned in. It starts at 1-1, right? So grid position right now for this piece should be 1-1, yes. So it comes over here. It already exists, so we're going to add the piece to it. And then we resume. Grid position gets updated. We want to move the missile to 2-1. So we come over here, update the piece's grid position. Does 2-1 exist in this mapping? It does. So we're going to grab that array, which already has an object. Wait, what? Hold on, what? Oh, new position. Oh, this is wrong. Whoops. Okay. So this. Okay, hold on. I gotta think about this carefully. So this is the bug. When we're updating the grid position, we have to have previous position, which is basically piece's grid position, and then piece has been moved to the new position here. When we're moving to the new position, if the new position doesn't have an array, we're simply adding the piece, right? Or, oh, it's an upsert. Oh. Okay. Yeah. In the new position, okay, hold on. What was my line? Okay. In the position that we're about to insert the piece, if it doesn't exist, we're going to just add the piece. And before adding the piece, we need to update the grid position here. Like so. Yes. First of all, we're going to remove the existing piece from the previous position. Right? And then we got to do this. Yeah. Okay, hold on. It's like this. There you go. We're removing the grid, removing the piece from the previous position. And then we're adding the piece to the new position. Now, the problem is if the piece didn't exist, like the piece didn't exist in the previous position right here, we're going to just skip this part, right? So we're going to say like that, where if position has the piece is not true, well, if this is true, we're going to remove it and then we're going to add it. There you go. This should fix it, I think. I think we should get the boom here now. Whew. All right. I have finally defeated my past self. I am a new man. All right. So, one, I'm going to move my ship all the way to here. We're going to launch the missile. Right now we got nothing on the prints. If I launch, that is a boom. Yay. It's kind of funny. This should be a boom. Yes, we got boom. 2 booms. Not quite sure why that is a boom. Launch a missile. Boom. Hey, we got a boom. All right. Sick. So objects running into each other is a boom. We got it, everyone. Debugged. Let's see if there's any error out here. Nope, just a bunch of warnings. Nice, nice. Don't care about warnings as much. All right. Dying over here, everyone. Luckily, today is even colder out here, so it feels okay. I am sweating. All right, so missile goes. They can detect impact. Impact should reduce the target's quote-unquote health, right? So for enemy ship and asteroid, should they have health bars? I think so. We can give a little health bar here. I don't know if I'm going to give asteroid the health bar. I think the visually those rocks going away slowly should be a visual indication enough that I don't have to like give a health bar. Or like not having a health bar and everything just being visual indication of like guessing when it's gonna go is part of the game. I don't know. Anyways, Dreyfus says I gotta go pick up my kids from school. I'll leave you up. All right, bye, Dre. Thanks for hanging out. Celine says there are 3 advisors. Your advisor manages stuff. You have to give your seal. I see. The LARP will have around 120-ish players. Wow, that's a big LARP. Dude, that's like running a company, essentially. That session. Sounds fun, though. It's run by my college, and it's a joint event between the Tabletop Gamer Society and the Sci-Fi Society. Oh, well, sounds fun. Well, it's run by societies, which are basically clubs. Yeah, sounds fun. Dungeon Magic Tactics, hey, welcome back. Says, hey, Az, hope you've been well. Yeah, I've been well. We're back on our Dread on Arrival game here, trying to finish it out within a year. Hopefully, for the sake of my video and my future, I will release all 3 of my games within next year. So we'll see. Ambitious, but we'll do it. We can do it. We just need to lock in. Tony says, where should I send the image? Can you repeat, please? Just anywhere in Discord. General's fine. General's fine. I need to see if I can update the image again, though. Every time I try to do it, it's been a while that people like, or the software is outdated. So I have to refigure out how to do it every time. There you go. Hopefully it's pretty simple. It seems pretty straightforward. Custom. Yep. Okay. Yep. There it is. So if you share it, I can just put it up there. Gotta get that new pixel art in the background. Good usage of points. Okay. Let's see. We did the collision detection. We're gonna say on collision, right? On impact. The piece will have on impact Wait, hold on. Let me think. I think the missile should have strength for sure. So we'll say everything else by default is 1 damage. I'm going to say missile has a strength damage. Or should I call it damage? Yeah, damage would be 1 by default here. And we'll come over here. Red handler, we're going to say bar damage is by default 1. Unless if piece is a missile piece, meaning it's a weapon piece, then we're going to try to retrieve the damage value from it. Oops. Like so. And use that as a damage. And then inflict. Well, I guess damage should be a. Yeah. Okay. Celine says, yeah, there's 10 GMs, lol, not including the GMs running factions like the Bene Gesserit. Oh, that's pretty cool. Bene Gesserit are the DMs or the GMs, Game Masters. That's pretty sick, actually. That's a pretty good idea, actually. And I think at the moment there's around 20 houses. That's a lot of houses. Just like Real Dune. I mean, I guess the requirement is like, have you guys watched the TV series? Oh, there it is. Image for the reward. All right. I'm going to go here. Let's see how it shows up. All right. Tony redeemed this, so we'll do this here. By the way, does any of you guys have VGen? I'm trying to get a VGen artist code so I can be part of it, but the requirements are so strict. So let me know if you have it or your friend. Okay, let's see. But that is a aside. So I'm going to download the pixel art. All right, we're gonna do this full cam. All right, can you see it right there? This thing? This is what we're updating. All right, we're gonna go to our channel, general, download this. This is pretty good work. I'm not sure what it is. Can you explain to me what this is? Is this a virus? Imagine if you can embed virus somehow into a pixel art. All right. There it is. That's Tony's submission. It's there forever now. Thanks for redeeming that. Love collecting. Okay. All right. Ooh. Yavrin redeemed a Berry Folk booster pack. We got some new berries up on the field. Make sure you plant your seeds and water them 9 times to get your berries from the collections. Now, 2 wizard berries are available, 1 squat berry. Also, if you kick people with crowns on them, you can steal their crown. And different crown gives you different % chance of getting a shiny version of the berry, by the way. So, that's something to go for. Tony says, it's my profile picture from Discord, redrawn as pixel art. It's like robot emoji, but 3D rendered. Ah, I see. Pretty cool. Looks good. Looks good in the back. Too bad it's not like there while zoomed out. But it's present on all my videos right here. So, immortalized. Yalv says, interesting. Yeah, it is interesting, isn't it? There are a few things. You can kick command. There's a kick command like this. You can jump. Woo! And then you can see how many berries you have by doing this. A lot of people have a lot of collection. And then you can change berry. If you have multiple copies of the same type of berry, your size gets bigger. Every berry has a shiny version. But yeah, get your little berry. It's cute. And it's limited collection, right? So like, for example, you have infinite amount of normal berries, but every other ones, there are limited supplies, which only get added if you redeem booster, which you did. Thank you. A community service, rather. But the new hot item, the most rare one right now, is the hollow berry. All right, so we have the damage calculation. By default, it's 1 on impact, right? So we're going to go through each. So this is the damage source. I think I'm trying to think. So there's the concept of impacting by running into it. And then there's a concept of exploding damage, right? So missile would run into something and explode, which does some damage. Oh, sorry. You got to plant the seeds first. I know it's complicated. Wait, somehow, why is this so complicated? I don't understand. I thought it was pretty simple, but I guess it's really complicated. You got to redeem plant berry seeds. There's a redemption for that first. And then you can water them 9 times in totals. Or you can do the X9 watering thing. Don't worry if you did it by mistake. The points get refunded automatically. By the way, we did implement this in Godot, and we work on it every now and then, so here we are. We are Godot game devs after all. We're making stuff. As we should. We make games, we make interactions. Good times, good times. But also, alternatively, I can gift you. Let me gift you actually. Here. Which one should I give you? I'll give you change berry. Oh, I'll give you my dice berry. It's a pretty good one. Here. Gift. What's your name here? Yalvarin. Boom. There you go. What? Getting free berries? Okay. I mean, there's a gifting feature, so you can gift command to give different berries to people. Here. I'll give you one too. I'll give you a wizard berry. That's a hot item. Change berry to wizard berry. Gift. What's your name? Dre Fuzz. Boom. There you go. You got your wizard berry. Congrats. Yeah, no problem. Yeah, no problem. You know, we all want to be participating. The goal for this one is that eventually we want to make a tower defense game where everybody gets to defend the buried town together, like build defenses. But we haven't worked on that yet. That's going to be complicated, but we'll see. It's going to be fun, I think. Anyways, Paul says it's a fun little mini game. Yeah. Hopefully it'll get even more fun. Okay, first thing first, I want to blow up the piece. So I guess let's see if it's the I mean, technically I want to be like impact damage on the piece, and then only when it dies it explodes, and then it causes explosion damage. Celine says only 8k more points to go. Wait, 8k more points for what? Is there still singing thing? Oh my god, the singing thing redemption is still there. Eek. I gotta start making music here. Okay, we gotta write songs. What should we write about? We should. Oh, you know what? I was thinking this. I saw some TikTok videos of like people teaching language as a song. I thought it would be interesting if I do like programming concept as a song. So it's like programming tutorial or programming lesson, but as a music. But then again, I can't do it like what kids these days do, you know, like producing it on digital. I need to do that one. Whew. Geez, let's see. A lot of chat today. Yalf says, I got 50 points. Should I plant berry folk seed? Yeah, of course. You got a little cute plant. And you get to raise them. Water them, okay? Water them. Make sure you water them 9 times and they grow. Water them 9 times total. You can do 1 at a time if you want. Paula says, are you using print statement for debugging reasons? Yeah, sometimes. Temporary debugging. This one I just wanted to see if this part of the code gets triggered without actually implementing the code yet. Celine says, no. You think too small, Ezra. I have 292k points, obviously. Just like, oh, it's like a 1-hour singing stream. That's it. 192k. Funny. You're funny, Celine. I know you're not threatening me. Okay. Oh my gosh, please. All right. So we're going to explode. We're going to explode together. Let's explode the thing. Sometimes. All right. Let's say we have peace or starting health, for example. And this is okay. So over here, for now, as long as the piece is not a player piece, because I want to deal damage to non-player pieces here. Well, let's say we give 3 for most pieces, but then the missile piece could have 1. And on combat tester, or not there, grid handler here, we're going to say Yal says this is a pretty fun minigame, to be honest. Oh, that's cool. I mean, especially if you have a type of berry that you're looking for. We also take suggestions. Oh, Paulo has 5 hollow berries? That's kind of crazy. Also, if you have a shiny, you can trigger or you can toggle your shiny version of the berry by doing shiny command, by the way. I don't think I can showcase it because I don't have any shiny. Oop, ad's about to start. Bye, everyone. Well, not bye, but I'll see you on the other side of the ad. Let's see. For those of you who's here beyond the ad, welcome. Welcome to the world of worthy folks. Celine says, this is why you should sub to Ezra, not bias. No, not bias at all. You're not a mod or anything. I mean, if I had enough people, I would totally do like sub-only chat and stuff like that. But right now, it's kind of not worth it. It's okay. Slowly, but surely, we'll get there, right? Okay. What do we got here? Should there be chain reaction? Do you think it's crazy if I go Yeah, and I think that's a little bit too much, honestly. If I do like impact damage and then exploding damage separately for the most of them, I think it'll be confusing. I think there is an opportunity to be like, oh, certain type of pieces, when they die, they cause explosions around. And that has a chain reaction. That's a different thing, I think. So for now, we're going to simplify it. We're simply going to say, hey, if the piece is a missile, and I don't think we're going to even explore that right now. We're just going to say, hey, if the piece is missile here, well, that's for the damage number, isn't it? So we're going to grab the damage number. We will play the explosion of the piece if it is missile, right? So we're going to say piece as missile, explode. Should we play on impact for everybody? Like so. Is it underscore? Maybe it shouldn't be underscore. On impact. I mean, it gives one target, but I don't think that should be done. I think that should be handled by the grid. So we'll play that. So we do that. It'll explode. It's still there. It hasn't been removed yet. And we're going to remove the missile at the end here. If piece is missile, then we will remove this from the map. Remove piece from the grid, which just takes it out from the battle grid. But we also want to remove it from the battle map. Bokunon says, how's it going with your faster dungeon? Faster dungeon? Are you talking about my dungeon? There's so many dungeons in my games. We're working on Dread on Arrival today. If you're talking about my dungeon generator, the mine game, that one we're taking a break on it, but we will come back. Notification. Thanks for the sub, Danilo on YouTube. Hey, welcome back. It's been a while. Bokunon says faster than dungeon game. Oh, faster than dungeon game. This is faster than the light. FTL. Yes, faster than the dungeon. Right. It's going well, right? Because it's Darkest Dungeon, faster than the light. Okay, fine. We have some design locked in. We're working on the event and the combat part, which is going to be the first version of the game, which is roguelike version of the game. And we're going to try to finish this before next year, June, with few iteration of test cycle. And then we're going to start on our narrative version in next year, June, hopefully reaching a demoable, playable, fun, wish listable game that we can post on Next Fest next year. So yeah, we're making our way. We're making our way downtown, essentially. Okay, so we're removing it from the grid, and then we're also going to remove it from the combat map here. Say map info, remove piece, and then we're going to remove the piece itself here, like so. So it got moved. It has an impact. Plays a thing. I guess we should wait for... It'll play it once. This might soft lock. I gotta be careful here. Because I just moved a piece. And this will play the animation, and it does a bunch of fast actions. And I want the animations to be done before being able to move on, right? So for example, at the least, by the time this happens, I want to be able to say, hey, if don't do this logic until the missile has exploded completely. So if piece animated sprite 2D is playing, you know, returns true if animation is currently playing, right? Then we want to await on piece finished or something like that, or not finished. Animation finished. Only problem is that between this execution and this execution, you may still get that small gap where you might be soft locked. We're going to be careful with that one. Bokuran says, starting a design document with dead on arrival shows you're optimistic. The game is called Dread on Arrival. Almost dead on arrival, but it's dread. It's not taboo or nothing. I'm not cursing myself with that title. Bokuran says, I misread. Yeah, it's okay. I think it's doing what it's supposed to do. Okay, so we're waiting on that. Remove the piece, blah, blah, blah. We are not dealing any damage just yet. But what we are doing is that on impact, we are exploding it. So honestly, we got to do this. If our this is a little bit confusing here. Yeah, so we're going to say we're about to collide. Might have to do this actually, where it says bar is impacting or has collision will be this size is greater than 1, because 1 is counting itself, right? And also I should probably spell this correctly. Right. And if that's the case, then if we are colliding, if has collision and piece is a missile piece, then we want to explode this guy, right? On impact. How are we calling it? Forgot. Yeah, on impact. Hey, Apollo with his or their little berry. Congrats on birthing a tiny berry. And then let's see. Okay. So we detect a collision. We're playing the impact animation. We go through here. At the end, we're going to remove the missile. If this is true again, we're just splitting the true here. Honestly, maybe I could do... Yeah. This, if it is still playing, wait on it and remove it. Otherwise, do damage here. All right, let's see. It's not going to do the damage, but it should explode on impact. Otherwise, it doesn't do anything. So I'm going to test that the missile doesn't do anything if it doesn't run into anything first. So we're going to grab this person, go to the weapons, shoot it. nothing happens. I'm going to move the ship over here. And then send a missile. Oh! Oh! Look at that. All right. Let me just... I'm doing bunch because I want to see if they get properly removed. So we're going to go to the monitor and see if the objects... Oh! Look at all these orphan nodes. Yay! We got an orphan node factory, guys. Yeah, so we're not properly freeing the nodes, which I guess kind of guess might happen. Let's see. So we're gonna come over here. Yelp says, hey yo, how those people got so many points? They come here. I mean, you get more points if you return. So if you're regularly watching me, you end up having a lot of points. Also, I didn't have this thing for a while when it first started. So a lot of people had points where they couldn't use it. So I made it mainly as a point sink. But when it says it's hard work being lurker, yeah, exactly. A professional lurker out here. Let's see. So we definitely need to free it. Removing the piece from the grid. And we're removing it from this. And we gotta say, hey, Q free. Because we don't need this anymore. All right. Collision works. Missile goes away. Only thing I need to do now is make sure that the pieces go away when they reach 0, right? So we have a damage here. And combat piece, I think, should have a function called take damage or inflict damage, I guess. Inflict damage. Inflict damage seems like piece is inflicting damage to something else. So I'm going to say piece take damage to indicate that this is the damage that's being done to the piece I'm calling it for. And starting health, simply current health here. And what I'm going to do is on ready, I guess. Func on ready. Which I guess I should put it all the way up here. On ready, we're going to do reset piece. Not that it matters, but we're going to do it anyways. Or initialize, I guess it doesn't really matter. Current health will equal to the starting health. And on inflict damage, we're simply, for now, no animation. We're just going to decrease the health by the amount. Cool. And for we don't have to, I guess, yeah. Here on the grid handler. I mean, I don't know if this is a grid handler's job. I guess it is, because grid handler is determining what it means for the piece to have a 0 health, I guess. So over here, damage, we're going to inflict or take damage for each piece. So if piece is missile, then we do the damage number here. I think we could do this up here. Like so. Boom, boom. Impact damage is 1 unless the impacting thing is a missile, which will explode. Each of the combat piece will take damage by the amount of impact damage. All right. And then if after taking the damage, if the combat piece's current health is less than or equal to 0, it needs to be destroyed. Yalf says, where's my plant? Right here. Oh, it went away because you just watered it 9 times. You finished watering it. So it became a berry folk. And you can see that you got another dice berry. That's a weird look. So now you have 2 dice berry right here, Yalf. And that's just the luck of the draw. And now you can kick people. I don't know. Some people say Godotberry is their favorite. My favorite is Diceberry. I don't know what people's favorite is. There's only 18 Hollowberries still. But yeah. Ross says, oh no, he's getting younger every day. Hi, how are you doing? What? What do you mean? Do I look younger than I was before? That's ironic because I just had my birthday and I'm now, well, that was a month ago, I guess, roughly. My birthday, and I am now 36. The official Unk status, because I've just passed my mid-30s. But thank you. I guess the skincare is doing its job then. Jeez. Okay. Maybe it's the dewy skin from all the sweating that I'm doing because my AC is down. Okay, so if the current health is 0, we're going to do the same thing here. We're going to remove the piece from the grid, where the piece is the combat piece we're impacting. And then we're going to get rid of it from the battle information. This hindsight is really bad design, but there is one benefit. One benefit is I don't have to do a separate parsing of the information in order to save it. When I do save state, because we have the data version of the battle and then there's a grid version of the battle. I mean, ideally what I should have done is I should have made it so that the visual representation automatically updates, but that's what the grid handler's job is, to sync those two things. So I guess technically I'm doing it by the design. Yelp says, happy birthday. I'm too late. No, it's okay. I feel your celebration. I feel your celebration. Like, I feel your presence. You know what's funny? Like, I grew up on StarCraft, so like if I used to be able to just do StarCraft quotes and then people are like, oh, I know that. But now we're past that. See, that's the Ankh status in me. If I quote Brood War, I don't think a lot of people will know what I'm talking about. There are only a few of us. All right, 3 health per piece. Right now, there's no visual indicator for health, but things should still get destroyed. So, for example, this asteroid, if I shoot it 3 times, right here, 1, 2, 3, gone. All right, and no orphan nodes to be found, I'm sure. Yes, 0 orphan node. Objects are pretty steady. Nodes are pretty steady. Oh, this is great. All right, we go down. Let's move it down here. We'll go over here. Oh, whoops. We're going to have to make it so that the FTL point doesn't get damaged. Right now, oh, this is kind of tricky. Because if I shoot here, where there's multiple units. Wait, that was weird. All right, either way. All right, here's a gameplay question. If there are asteroids on a slot and the unit is hiding behind the asteroid, should it clear the asteroids before hitting the unit? Or should there be a chance of hitting one over the other? So it only hits one thing at a time, as opposed to hitting both. I think that makes more sense, because I feel like my goal was you can choose to take hull damage to go into the asteroid field every turn, potentially, like chance, to cover yourself. So you're taking a risk, I think. Yeah. But I think you can, I think instead of it being chance to stay in the field without damage, I want it to be a navigation action. So you can go to the navigation and then do a maneuver. Then you avoid 100% the asteroid damage, you know? Yes. Kinexus TTV says, hope you are having a great day. I just found out about your dialogue plugin and was wondering if you or anyone you know has tried it in Godot 4.5 yet. Okay, I'm going to get through it. Yes, it works. I just updated my thing to 4.5 and it seems like it works fine so far. I had one issue going from 4.3 to 4.4, so I updated it. So if you get the most recent commit, you should be fine on main. 4.5 seems like it's okay. So far, I haven't noticed anything new, though I guess I should run the test maybe in the future. Thanks for the follow, Ross. Ross says, I only know Warcraft 3 reference. Sorry. I mean, that's still old enough, I think. Ross says it's the hair change, I guess. I mean, I did trim my hair, but it grew out again, so I need to get my cut. I guess clean haircut makes me look younger, apparently. Kinessa says, chance for sure. Yeah, I think that's a good idea. Think of it like half cover in D&D. Yeah, I did see the commit note about 4.4 update. Great. Yeah, I think it should work. Let me know if it doesn't work. Cutting the issue doesn't really do much for me because it does give me an email, but then I'll go, I'll take a look later. Telling me on stream does the best. If you're like, okay, something's broken right now. I'm like, oh God, I gotta go fix it. But yeah, thanks for using the plugin. There are a lot of people using it. I think it's good. It's very convenient for me, but Ross says, oh, I was following you from my old account. That's why. Old account? Not sure what that means, but appreciate it either way. Thanks for following. Kinexa says, yeah, I'll let you know. I made my own dialogue system, but yours look easier to use. It's, you know, I'm sure it has pros and cons. I just stick around with a very specific design principle, which is no visual coding, but visual organization is huge on dialogue organization. That's why it's the way it is. I mean, you saw the video, but maybe I could introduce it again for other people who are watching here. So like you have the nodes here. And the idea is this shows exactly what kind of web you have and it handles everything automatically. And I don't want you to code in dialogue, right? Because dialogue should be purely controlling the dialogue flow. But you still need some scripting. So if you need any function, the idea is if you're a writer, you don't want to code, but you want to say, here, I want to get this information, or here, I want this to be marked, or here, I want this animation to play. Those things are non-technical things. I just want to be like able to say, do this. So here's like, that's why there's a signal function, which is basically function call. And then routing is basically based on twine type of situation where you can just distribute to the nodes. And you have basic ifs. And then, of course, dialogues are just regular dialogues where the prompts are like this. With the little question being like, put out the fire being one of the options. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, the idea was to be like, oh yeah, imagine you're working as a team of writer versus developer. When you're writing, you want to focus on writing, being a narrative controller. And I mean, the reality is sometimes you do have to mix a lot between the two. But, you know, it is what it is. Kinexus, yeah, I'll let you know. I made my, yeah. Dreyfus says, Ayo, I'm back. And Kinexus got you talking about your plugin, lol. Yeah, he did. Or they did. My plugin comes through every now and then. I mean, it's not a surprise because on YouTube I have few videos that did well. The one where I talk about leaving big tech, right? Because that's like a popular topic. Everybody's like, "Oh, what? You don't want money? What the heck?" So that's popular. And then the next most popular one next one that got really popular was the dialogue plugin, because everybody's looking for dialogue plugin. Godot's new. Unity was doing some evil stuff, so everybody was transitioning to Godot. And then after that, I made for some reason, deck builder tutorial. That one has a lot of viewers. I'm not really sure why that specifically. But it does well, so I'm probably going to have to continue with that one. I'm planning on doing it. Actually, I'm planning on making a template / plugin for making Slay the Spire on Godot. Because I was like, well, I'm teaching it, but a lot of people are like, I don't know what to do afterwards. I was like, okay, fine. I'll just make a template. Just replace your animations here, put your card effects here, and you have basically Slay the Spire, but your own. Reskinning Slay the Spire on Godot, basically. That's the idea. That might take a little bit, but Kinexo says deck builder sounds right up your alley, Dreyfus. Deck builder is one of my favorite things to play. Dreyfus says, yeah, haha, battle bugs. Oh, you have a game, deck builder games? Nice. I like deck builders. They're fun. Though I have to say, it's okay. As much as I love roguelike deck builder, there's part of it that doesn't feel like a deck builder in the modern roguelike space. Because in modern roguelike space, you are building one deck. Great. I have this one game idea that I want to work on in the future. I talked to my friends about. But basically, you're managing multiple pre-cons and choosing which pre-cons to go with depending on who you're dealing with. Or having a deck. So for example, if it's like simulated RPG or like action combat, building a deck, like a deck is an armor. So, or a suit. So you have a deck for your weapon, deck for your armor, and deck for your shoes or whatever. And then basically you draw from different pile to do different things. So then you make a pre-con for different, like the equipment is the deck. That's one idea that I'm working on. That could be fun, I think. But only downside to that is like, wow, you're managing multiple decks. So it's like that initial ramp, it could be fun to play, but that learning curve of like getting started could be super overwhelming. And that's the hard part. Kinexa says, right? My mind went straight to MTG. Yeah, exactly. Celine says, reskin the Spire. Yeah, exactly. Rifa says, I have physical deck builder, board game tested and created. Ooh, fun. I'll go play it. Hey, test with me. I'll test it. I have a lot of opinion. I like MTG, but I do have a love-hate relationship with MTG. Like, I like playing it, but I don't like the fact that it's hard to get people to play. I like playing with people and new people. So if the game has high entry, like resistance, then I'm like, I like it because I got into it. I would play it, but that's not the kind of game I want to make. But it sounds like Commander Night at a local game. Yeah. Ross said, I thought you were going to say something like Artifact. Maybe Artifact. Yeah, Artifact is good. But I'm not saying like a single weapon is a card. A single equipment is a card. I'm talking about like an equipment is a deck. Like, because, you know, like a light deck builder, that's not really a deck builder, is more like a card-driven gameplay. Like Gloomhaven, which I own. It's not over here. Where is it? Oh, it's right there. Like Gloomhaven, the way they play it is that you play your actions with limited number of cards and you place your cards, right? Your character, your class is the deck. And it's set, and you build onto it based on what you can do. But basically, you know, if you get a staff or like a magic staff, it has certain things. And based on your memory, based on your play, based on your experience, you would cast different spells with it, right? So that's the kind of the idea, but we'll see how that goes. But I do also have other deck builder game, which is the Blood is Mana. Oh my goodness. That's one of the 3 games I want to finish, which is where I met Dungeon Magic Tactics down here. Dungeon Magic Tactics is also making a similar one. I have a deck builder game that's a tactics game, which I submitted for one of the game jams out there. And this one is basically, idea is your life is the mana, so you use your health to cast spells like Blood Mage, but also it's a tactics game. So Into the Breach meets Slay the Spire type of thing. But then the unique part, so this is the health, this is the card, right? And they do different things. Moving on the board is not a card action. It's a recycle if you're thinking about MTG. So if you discard, you get to move the amount of spaces that's equal to the cost of the card. Now, if you're familiar with Deck Builder, that immediately gives you an interesting balance question, because a lot of times you think about, when you're building deck, you're thinking about mana curve of like having this many low cost, this many high cost. Suddenly now you have like a weird pros and cons of high cost cards, because high cost cards can be a movement spell because you're not using it, but also its effect is really good. So like, what do? You know, that kind of stuff. So I don't know. This one was really fun to play and make. So this is one game that I created, which I want to finish out. But yeah. So we have a close relationship with decks. Tactics. Okay, what do we got here now? Game Shop. Kinexus says, right, but my one through MTG. Dungeon Magic Tactics says, nah, managing multiple decks is easy peasy. That's what mine is. Okay. You're a little biased, but I think it's worth thinking about what that entry to the game looks like, because that's kind of important. Doesn't matter if your game is really good at high level play and really fun to play. How do you get people to get into that? That's something. I mean, one way to do it is to get a lot of high level players to showcase your game, and people just suck it up and do it. That's the league approach. But yeah. Yelp says, well, it was fun to be here. See you next time. All right, bye. Thanks for the, I don't know, hanging out and follow and all that, Yelp. Drifus says, fudge, yes, let's go. I'll test it with you, lol. Yeah. My favorite is beating people in their own game. No. I like strategic games, and when I go play on like PAX, when I go to like PAX West and stuff like that, I go to the board game place all the time. And a lot of times they're demoing it, and some of them are weirdly competitive with their own game, and they play for reals. And like, I'm like, you're weird. I'm gonna beat you now. That happens. But I guess it's not that weird. It's just kind of weird in that like it's not the goal of your demo. Okay. Bokunin says, I love playing Commander. Hate how they pump out slop currently. Yeah. I mean, it's mixed feeling. It is kind of cool. Like when they first started the whole like multiverse and like doing different collabs, it was kind of cool. Like Doctor Who and stuff like that was like very unique. But the way they're pumping it out now, it feels to a point where like they used to not do reskin a lot. That now there's a bunch of reskins, right? Where the cards are basically the cards that already exist with new art that is relevant to the thing. And I'm like, okay, well, like that's not a new mechanic. And they're always trying to add new mechanic, but then now like there's so many that the new mechanics feels not as original or unique. Whatever. I guess they need to make money somehow. That's when corporate goes, okay, how do we scale this profit to make more money? Stop it. You don't need to make more money. You just stop. Drake says, I was going to make tabletop sim versions of it. Ooh, fun. Yeah, do it. Dungeon Magic Tactics says, you could do something like Shuffle X cards into your deck at the start of battle, depending on your gear. That could be fun. I like that. Bokunon says, are you playing mono black in Magic by any chance? Me? I do have a mono black. I actually play mostly blue white, and I have decks that I don't play. Most of my decks, they're pretty strong, as in like within my friend groups, I win most of the games, but I only play it once to showcase what it does, because it's one of those decks where it's like, oh, it's cool to see, but if you see it again, either people are like targeting me as a whole, as a group, because they don't want me to get set up, or it's one of those like situation where I'm just basically playing by myself, which is unfun. So I just showcase and then play other people's precons. I go, hey, I'll play your Stompy deck or whatever. Dreyfus says, that seems pretty cool. Yeah. Thanks. Dungeon says, I love when people beat me in mine. Good. Yeah, exactly. Celine says, oh yeah, Ezra, I somehow got roped into jamming a one-shot using my fantasy world. Ooh, fun. So now I'm trying to hack Blades in the Dark. So it fits my world, Lamau. Well, that's a lot of research. That's a lot of responsibility. Well, good luck with that, and let me know how it goes. I love to hear stories, cool stories from those tabletop games. Magic Foodbar says, hey Ezra, did you ever use GD Unit for any project? I have not. I had to make my own integration test solution for the plugin, because I'm refusing to use C# on Godot, but I never used GD4 or Unit 4. He looks like a black MTG player. Oh yes, I'm not a black MTG player. I play black decks. Yes, I remember. I also love storm decks, by the way. So I like to make storm decks. I like to make control decks. The type of player that everybody hates. It's just most interesting to me. Magic Food Bar says, I like all colors. Great. That's as you should. Dreyfus says, my game is about collecting food. There's a central source and you can also steal from players. The deck building part is buying your bugs for your strat. Oh, fun. Wait, why does that sound familiar? Maybe not. I'm like, have I been to your booth? Dreyfus says, breeding bugs for your strat. I see. Little engine / deck. That sounds fun. Kinect says just added a booster pack. All right, for those of you who's unfamiliar, booster pack is to add Strawberry Folk to the pool. Wow, look at how big Tony is now that we got a significant amount of people. Oh, you got the Shiny Berry Allen, Apollo. I didn't see that. Nice, congrats. I actually don't like lifelink. I don't like lifelink decks. It feels, I don't know. It just doesn't feel as elegant to me. I like this like complex, elegant feeling of the deck, and just anything that is related to direct health gain or damage doesn't feel as good. One of my first decks I made was a Stompy deck. It was called Genesis. It was called Enter the Genesis because it was like during the I think it was a Zendikar. This is when Eldritch was first, or Eldritch? Not Eldritch. Is it Eldritch? Eldrazi. When the Eldrazi was first introduced, I think. Well, not technically, it's not first, but you know. And I made the Genesis deck, which did really well. Eldrazi, Mitchell Forza. Ooh, Eldrazi. Yeah, exactly. We're isolating a lot of players by talking about MTG here. Or not. Maybe not. A little bit of distraction is okay. Bokono says obvious answer is Spider-Man. Spider-Man, I have been away from I guess, the new MTG for a while. I got back in for a little bit because I met new friends who wanted to play, so I built a new deck, but of course it was a Storm deck. Hold on. My deck is somewhere out here. What was it is Mox MTG Moxfield? I think it's Moxfield. So I can show it to you. This was my deck. It works really well. All right, so my commander was this thing. The blue, red, white. Kai the Wind's Fury. And you'll see why this works well with Storm deck. Whenever you cast... Yeah, I bought it. I bought all this. This was like $200 deck, I think, at the time. I need to go find it. It's somewhere. I made this last year, I think. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, create a 1/1 white spirit token, and then you can sacrifice a spirit, unlimited, right? To add 1 mountain mana. So by casting, you create free mana. That's a classic Storm or Search deck right there. So I have that with bunch of like mana ramps. What is it? Unfortunately, so what would make this deck even better is if I have tutors, but tutors are expensive. But basically, between Gutter Snipe and Empty the Warren, you get a lot of damage done. Also, on top of that, this is not just a Storm deck. I have the thing that... Oh, Gutter Snipe is that, yeah. The damage, deal damage whenever you cast spell. And then bunch of flashbacks. So even if I go through my library, I can cast back again from the graveyard. This is actually pretty good. This ramps up pretty hard. I tested a few times and it actually works. Only thing is that once people know what your setup is, they do target you from the beginning. But once you get going, like around turn 4, you basically wipe the entire table because you're dealing damage to everyone. Anyways, enough of that. Magic Fubar says, I love to flood the board with Scute Swarm into Landfall deck. Landfall is fun too. That was that was also Zendikar time, huh? The whites, white and green. Let's see. Counterspelling and life leech. The way I control, I actually didn't like counterspelling as a control. I usually have like 1 or 2 counterspells for like really important stuff. My favorite way to control is locking lands and then returning spells and permanents to the hand or to the deck. So it's like ruining setups. So sometimes I would watch the setup, ruin the setup, and then land lock them. Fun times. It's pretty masochistic. Dreyfus says, this is Shieldred, and I'm sorry. Yeah. Kinexa says, ooh, counterspell and life leech. Lifelink is why there is commander damage, lol. But that doesn't help standard players. Oh wow, you got Kaikar. Spirits! I made a Kaikar deck, but it wasn't that good. I have the commander still though. I see. Dreyfus says, you got me motivated to dev some more. I'll be listening and working on deving. Great. Yeah, that's the idea. We're co-working, inspiring each other, getting excited about gameplays. Look, I mean, the first time we said we want to make games, or whenever we say we want to make great art, is when we get inspired by other people's. So that's where we're at. That's where we're at. Let's make games. Let's see. Still no news by the apartment about the AC. I wanted to do a 4-hour stream today, but man, it's getting really hot. All right. Where was I? Missile goes out, it blows up, it kills people. We said, okay, before I stopped, we said, definitely make it so that, oh my gosh, my cat is going crazy. Oh, Peachy. Peachy. Hi. Come here. Come here. All right, it's time for daily affirmation with our cats here. Sorry. Here's Peach. This one is not as loud, but when there's nobody in the apartment, or she thinks nobody's in the apartment, she starts meowing and looking for people. But this one doesn't like to meow. Also, this one doesn't like to be held. This is the one... Oh my gosh. I am so sweaty, and she's shedding so much. Peachy! Hi! Where's Fig? Figgy! And this is Fig. This one is more vocal. Hi. Say something. Are you happy? Oh, okay. Hi. Oh, there it is. Okay. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Stop, stop, stop. Oh my gosh. I can feel the hair just sticking to my face. Like, I'm so moisturized right now. We do have cat emoji. We have Fig emoji, no? Stop it. We have Fig emoji. Alright, Fig in the chat. Hold on. Wait, is the Fig emoji only for tier 1s? No, there's a follower emoji. There you go. See? Oh man, this feels awful though. I gotta wash my face. Oh my gosh. Jeez. My goodness. Whew. Yeah, no. That's all the cat time now. Oh my god. Oh man. That feels pretty bad. Anyways, so those are my cats. Hi, Void. Jerifa says, hello, Fig. And she's cuddly, as she is super cuddly. She loves people. Peach is more cautious. But she likes to hang. Peach likes to hang around. But as soon as you, like, touch her, she's just like, no, that's not what I signed up for. Everybody's loving the cats. Selena's like, Fig, we need cat emoji, Ezra. We do have cat emoji. Oh, Void, you missed out on the first. Tony got it. Tony got the first. Okay, just a little bit more. Let's make it so that if you're in the asteroid field, it's basically 50-50. And then yeah, let's do that. So oh, and then we gotta have health indicator. So first of all, asteroid piece right here. What I'm gonna do here is detach this. We're gonna attach a new script for asteroid piece, which is a combat piece. What we're gonna do here are sprites, which I guess it could be exports here. Export sprites, which will be sprite 2Ds, array of it. And basically, we'll just add these out here, like so. Voice says, today's commute lasted about 4 hours. I just got home. Wow, that's a long commute. Jeez. I mean, that's about the amount of time I would be streaming Void. I'm about to be done here. Unless the AC comes back, I'm done here in a bit. But alas, I guess this is I'm not going yet, but this is about the time I should remind everyone. If you're enjoying the stream, you should follow. And you got to support me somehow, right? Not that it matters. I feel like the follower count doesn't really matter as much. Like, I wish the follower count matters in terms of helping with the concurrent viewer, but it doesn't really do much, I think. What's important is that you are here every time I stream, so we can inflate our concurrent viewers. Voice says, also Ezra, I'm stuck on the Blood is Mana artwork. I can't seem to move forward. All the rendering types I used feel off, so I just discard it and go back again. Voice says, yeah, it rained and there was traffic. Okay, well, I mean, we can talk about art a little bit. Just give me a second. Let me do this and then we'll talk about the art. I think what you do need to do is some thumbnailing, because it makes it so that you can iterate through. It's just like Design Doc. You're familiar with thumbnailing, where you, in a canvas, you make a little thumbnail and just like scribble just kind of angles and like composition, so you can see it in a big picture. And once you feel like, okay, this I feel really good about, then you dig into it, you know? As opposed to if you're discovering the new details as you're drawing it, sometimes you get stuck. You're like, well, I don't know what to add to make it look better. But if you have a composition set before going into it, then you get this like idea of a goal, so to speak. All right. Combat piece does take damage here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to overwrite take damage. And basically do the super version of it. I know somebody told me that you don't have to do super. Like you can just do like something like that. I don't know what it was. But I'm going to do super here because I don't know what the other alternative is. To deal the damage, and what I'm gonna do is if the current health, well, maybe not the current health, while the sprite's size, hold on, while the sprites filter by visibility, right? So we're showing only the visible is, or size is greater than current health, right? Hold on, current health plus 1. Do something. All right, so we're getting the number of sprites, and we're filtering by visible ones. And the number of visible sprites are greater than current health plus 1, because 3 plus 1 is 4. So if it was 2, then it'll be 3. 4 will be too much. While that's the case, randomly make a sprite invisible. So hopefully that works. This could potentially loop forever, but we'll see. All right. I did a lot of shortcutting here, but we'll see if that works. We'll find out. So we have here, boom, boom, boom. Nothing seems to be a problem. We're going to move the ship here. Gonna launch a missile. Boom. You see that? Did you see it? All right, all right. We're going to go to the missile. Boom. Hey, yo. Interactivity. Missile. Oh. I don't know. Something about that feels kind of satisfying. And no orphan nodes, right? Kinexus says, gotta love satisfying progress. Exactly. Exactly. Something about it just feels right. Yeah. Ooh. The coverage percentage should be based on number of asteroids or asteroids' health, right? 10%. How about 20% coverage per asteroid? So in total, so there's 3 health. In total, that's 60% coverage, which is pretty good. Or 30% would be 90% coverage. This is very likely to hit the asteroid first. And then it becomes 60-30. Actually, that might be okay too. Let's do that. So on grid handler, when we're impacting the ship or other things in general, also we want to skip the FTL, meaning we don't want to destroy FTL. Makes no sense. So we'll say over here, or combat piece is in group called FTL point, is it? Forgot what it's called. FTL point. Then skip it because we don't want to destroy FTL point. And then we take damage here. Instead of dealing damage to every single pieces, we gotta choose one. We gotta choose one piece. All right, we're gonna have to change this a little bit. First of all, we need to detect if there's an asteroid on this thing. So var coverage amount be 0. Right? Okay, ads about to start on Twitch. Sorry. And this is why, once again, you want to sub. Anyways. The incentives. I feel really awkward about pushing for myself in terms of like promoting payment. Hey, Yelv. Just in time, Yelv. Welcome back. Ads about to start in 21 seconds. I'll see you in a bit. All right, coverage amount. We're going to say probably... For now, we're going to hard code this. Well, hard code coverage variable here. Constant coverage percentage or coverage ratio will equal to 0.3. Yeah. Yeah. Celine says, give Ezra your money so no ads. Exactly. Money, please. Money. That's a meme, right? Money, please. No, it's okay, everyone. You don't have to give me your money. Your hard-earned cash. Go donate it to people who teach us kids, I guess. Okay, so coverage amount. Sorry, that was really loud. We got the coverage amount. We're going to count the coverage amount. Basically, right now, should every neutral thing count as coverage? No, I don't think so. Well, every neutral pieces provide coverage. Does that make sense? No, it doesn't, right? I feel like the coverage should be its own group. So like can be used as coverage, right? But can you have more than one piece in a field anyways? I think no. Whatever, dude. I'm just going to do this here. Global. We're going to call this coverage producer. Or I guess cover. I don't know what other pieces are there, I guess. We got asteroid FTL piece. Doesn't follow anything. Good. Okay, you know what? I'll just do that. Hey, Void is dancing. All the cool people are here. All the cool people are chatting. Whoever can hear me right now is cool people, you know? All right, grid handler over here. Coverage amount, we're going to say if the combat piece we're looking at is in group cover, then coverage amount goes up by 1. Cool. Our damage target pieces will be array of combat piece. And then var cover pieces will be combat piece. Like so. So we have 2 arrays of combat pieces where this one collects combat piece. And if it's not a cover, that is a damage target. Right? Boom. And at the end, what is this doing here? Oh, it's just like if it dies, right? So we're going to do this separately. At the end, coverage amount times cover ratio. And we're going to say if random f which is a random number between 0 through 1, is greater than the resulting cover ratio. So that's the hit chance. Hit, right? So when that happens, or I guess we could do less than. If it's less than, it's a miss, which means one of the cover, pick random, will be the damaged target, which will be combat piece here. Right. If it's 0, it'll never do that. One thing about this is the fact that it includes 0. Includes. So if this was 0, I think we need to do it this way. If random number is 0, probably need to do coverage amount needs to be greater than 0 in the first place. Be this, pick random, else damage target piece will equal to damage target pieces, pick random. So. Not empty. And so, shoot. Hold on. I got rid of a bunch of code here that I didn't save. Let me, yeah, that. So we're going to do that. All right. So we say, if this is something, then we're going to inflict damage like that. So, aha. Maybe. Let's see. Okay, there it is. We got some example here at least. So we're going to move. First of all, we're going to throw the missile. Oh, wait, that doesn't count. Oh, I guess if I generate it twice, it just bugs out like that. All right, here's an example. Good. So we're going to move this guy. First of all, test impact. 1, 2. Oh. Wait, why is it? Wait, is it counting as a cover? That's right. I see what's happening. I think here. Oh man, this is a kind of complicated situation here. So if the damage target is empty, okay, I'm gonna make a separate case here for simplicity of this thing. So if damage target pieces is empty and coverage amount is greater than 0, this means cover exists without other targets, which means damage target would be one of the covers, right? If cover exists otherwise, meaning this is the case, and then the cover ratio hits, then cover hits instead of the target and target hits. Okay, cool. All right. Okay, I can, well, first test the asteroids dying. So let's do that real quick. Ooh, the asteroid got destroyed by running into it, me running into it. That's not intended. It's okay. Whatever. That could be a feature. 1, 2, 3, 4. Why does it take 4 hits instead of 3? Let's try that again. 1, 2, 3. Huh. Was that a mistake? Maybe I was tripping. All right, come over here. 1, 2, 3. Okay, that's okay. All right, we're gonna restart. We're looking for a case where there are overlapping spawns. Perfect. So we're gonna come over here, move the ship around to here. Okay, that one hit somehow the actual ship because none of the asteroid got destroyed. Again. Okay. It seemed like the ship was covering the asteroid as opposed to the other way around. Hold on. If the random number I generate is less than, then do the cover. We're gonna have to do this. Yeah. Everybody protect the asteroid with your ship. I mean, I guess that's kind of weird. All right, one more time. So I'm gonna do it until there's an overlap. Arth says, do you have any experience or knowledge in web application development? I mean, not extensively. I've done web app and web application. Like, I've done web app for my company. I've done web app stack coding, but export as an application, like desktop application with Electron, like mostly Node.js. I've done that, but I wouldn't say my knowledge is like, or my knowledge and experience is something that you would say, oh, I'm a front end developer. Anytime I've done any like web app application, I've mostly on back end. My professional experience revolves around mostly doing back end, but working with front end when necessary. But on paper, job description wise, hey, Birdie Bites, welcome Raiders. Oh man, I was just saying that I might be like, oh, I should go, but maybe not. I'll stick around. Thanks for the raid, everyone. A little shout out. Shout out to Birdie Bites here. Welcome, cool folks. I'll follow you back so I can raid you in the future. Let's see. Perp says, Birdie raid. Birdie says, Birdie raid. It's okay, haha. Feel free to go to sleep. No, I mean, it's still early. It's just that I'm in a predicament, which is that my apartment unit's AC is down. And they're supposed to fix it today, but it's not been fixed. And the thing that I've been saying is that it gets really hot in here. We don't have an openable window, but a huge window. So even though outside is like 60 Fahrenheit, which is pretty chilly, it gets to like 85, 86 here, especially with all the stream setup. So like I'm sweating over here, dying, and like bidding for my time. I'm like, okay, well, I hit 3 hours. I'm gonna go now, guys. That's what the situation is. But we'll see. Honky says, or thanks for the follow, Honky. Arth says, what should I do in front end after I learn Next.js and Motion Library? I think you should. It might be worth it to do a full stack practice, even as a front end. I mean, the front end, for me, the biggest leverage I get from front end engineers are their ability to be fluid with the visual organization, right? And CSS. Because every time I try to do it, I have to look it up. And even if I look it up, I never know how to organize it. I mean, like between the Flexbox and divs and all these other things, I'm like, I don't know, dude. Like it just multiple resolution, handling multiple device resolution and window sizes and browsers. Oh man, those things, like I understand it conceptually, but because I'm out of practice, I'm like, no, thank you. That would be your strength, I think. If you can show that that's like what something you're doing. But I do say full stack practice because you need to understand how the back end and front end communications are handled. And you know, it's not all API calls from the front end, right, to the back end. I mean, I guess mostly it is. But you know, there's a difference between calling your own backend, meaning backend that is permissible within the same server that's being distributed from the same space, permission space, versus calling outwards and handling credentials. Birdie Bye says that sounds rough. Yeah, it's been pretty rough. I like the AC's been out for like 4 weeks now. At first they were like, it's gonna take 2 weeks, where we were like, the crazies. And then they were like, oh, the parts we ordered wrong. It's gonna take 3 weeks. So we're on like week 3 now. And it was not gonna be ready till beginning of November, which then we don't need it. But today, or 2 days ago, they were like, oh, we found the replacement parts that are used. We're gonna try to repair today and see how it goes and let you know. I haven't seen any notifications yet, which is a bad news, I think. So I'm dying slowly, melting. I'm sweating, and I'm still in my hoodies because I went out and it was chilly. All right. So over here, I'm going to shoot my missile here. That hit the asteroid. All right. I guess I just got really lucky. There's one coverage. Coverage amount is 1 times 0.3. So there's going to be 30%. Oh, no. That was a mistake. Okay, the coverage amount is the health. Combat piece. Current health of the asteroid. That's right. So it's like very likely to hit the asteroid, but as the asteroid goes down, it's more likely to hit the ship. That's right. That's what I want to do. All right. So I'm going to have to restart it until the generation makes it so that there's an overlap. Nope, not yet. Whew. All right. Just give it to me. I suppose alternatively, I could increase the asteroid spawn count. You know what? That's what I'm going to do. For now, we will... Let's see. Standard combat here. Standard. By the way, this is how you configure the generation. This is a combat configuration, and it has all these like different things. So these are the generators. So I can increase the hostile generator. So we'll say minimum spawn 4 and 6. And then for asteroid, let's say minimum 6 to 10. So we have more chance for overlap. Yalv says, what does co-working means? Working together, working next to each other. That's all that means. Arth says, what do you think company need more front-end developer or back-end developer? I mean, on paper, most big techs usually want more full stack and back-end. They save money on front-end most of the time. Just because there's more management things to do on the back end. Because a lot of the big tech companies are service providers, right? So their main day-to-day function has to do with back end. So in terms of number of jobs, there's definitely more jobs in the back end and full stack. However, front end is a necessity, so you do have a demand. So I don't know. It's up to you to think about that one. Ooh, that 30% coverage didn't do anything for him. Nice. But I think it's working, right? It feels like it's working. Go here. Missile. 1, 2, 3. That's good. Feel like sometimes it ignores the missile. I don't know if it's because I'm doing it too fast. Yeah, right here. Yeah. I mean, it's okay because I'm going to end turn on execution. It's never going to be rapidly firing. I think that's great. All right, now we can go back to normal, which is we're going to do 4 to 6 asteroids. Hostile will be 2 to 3. And then missile launches, stays on, and moves forward once. Great. Most of the actions are ready, I think. Bokunan says, unless you're working for a big company, you're probably doing a bit of both either way. Yeah, I mean, full stack is way to go just because it gives you more option. But for the most part, when people say full stack, they mean they're specialized on backend. But you could say that. I would say, Arth, you would go, I'm full stack with front end focus. Which means you're very fluent in front end, but you have a pretty good handle on doing everything. Meaning you're a strong programmer. Like you can program, you know how to program, you know the concept of all the programming concepts. So you understand it, but you've done most of your experiences in either front end or back end. That's it. Like it's nothing to do with the job or nothing to do with like the studies and stuff. You just say, that's what I like to do, basically. Bokoden says, if you're a beginner, what really helped me personally is setting up a full website and hosting it by myself. True, that probably helps. All right. Let me go check if I can destroy the FTL point. So the idea here is that if the mission is to escape, you get to the FTL point in order to do a FTL jump. So you can't just run away. You got to get to a place to run away. And that may be difficult. All right, good. FTL doesn't get destroyed. We're doing well here. Okay. I think we're doing okay. Let's see. Technically, if we want to make the resolution match up, okay, this might mess things up, but I think this is actually what we want. I want to see if this looks weird, if we change the scale of things. Look how big the missile is. That's kind of funny. But, you know, I think that might be necessary. You might be wondering, how does that huge thing come out of that? Don't question it too much. Yeah, don't, whatever. It makes sense, okay? That's kind of funny, though. I guess I could also move it up a little and change this to be like, hold on, we have to move it up a little, I think. So we'll go like that and keyframe it. Can I do that? Reset on float. This is 26, -37. So we'll say 26, negative 37. Over here, 26, 37 here. Rest 26, 37. I think that's probably better. It's also huge, so we'll reduce the size of the missile. It looks kind of goofy. When voice says, don't worry about it. Yeah, exactly. It's just, hey, like, that's what the missiles look like. What do you mean? We'll just, there you go. Yeah, I fixed it, everyone. Wow. I fixed it. Yay. Actually, that does look more acceptable. We do want to lower it, I think. Let's see. Let's make it negative 20 instead. So plus 17. Plus 17. Plus 17. There you go. A little bit better. Nice. Oh, I mean, we're almost there. Just about. Feels pretty fun. Nice. Repair doesn't do anything yet. Nor does the medvac. Yeah, I'm not sure if we're going to do a crew health thing. I haven't decided if that's something that I want to do. Let me put on the suit for everyone. Cool. All right. I think this is about time where we need to start thinking about doing turns. So each crew member have certain number of actions, and certain actions here, performing them would consume action, meaning it'll disable the crewmate. And then there needs to be a button for end turn. And that will do pre-turn stuff, AI, post-turn prediction. So it will be like, this missile will move and then say it's going to be here next turn with an arrow. All those things are necessary. And finally, we'll have a game, I think. But we're almost there. We're almost there. We're getting there. Slowly but surely. Okay, you know what? This feels good. We got the weapon firing. We got the movement. We had a pretty good chat out here. I think we can say we'll call it today. All right, everyone. Thanks for watching. Good old 3 hours and 30 minutes. If you're enjoying this channel and if you're enjoying this stream, don't forget to follow and also join our Discord to get notification on when I go on. I stream on Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Thanks for hanging. Covino's been on for 6 hours. Ooh, we haven't gone to Mo in a while. We also haven't gone to Hypnotic in a while. Yeah, you know what? We're going to Hypnotic today. All right, thanks everyone for watching. I'll see you later. Here comes the raid. Whoa. Hypnotic and Covino is on the same stream. Are they working on a project together? Wow. I want to be in a cool club. I know you hear me. All right. Bye everyone. Thanks for watching. Okay. Well, YouTube, you guys are a little bit special because you guys get to watch me a little bit until I say bye again.